All right. Well, welcome to the Make Once method here. Today's topic is how many views do you need to make 10 grand a month? This is for people that want to sell digital products online, specifically using YouTube, Skool, and AI. So here's the problem. You want to make recurring income online, but you don't know what it's going to take in terms of work and content creation. And listen, I get it, okay? Because people always tell you, well, you just need to post more. But the problem is nobody ever tells you what the math is. And it's confusing, right? I mean, it's like you want to make it work. You want to make money online. You want to have a school and you want to get monthly recurring revenue. And if you follow my channel at all, it's like if I tell you, hey, if 1,000 people give you $3 a day for 1 year, you'll make $1 million a year. But it's like, well, what does that actually take? How does that actually work? And so that's what I want to take you through. And I actually made you something here. I'll give it to you at the end. It's totally free. It'll help you figure this math out. So you're not like confused. I don't want you to be in the dark about it, okay? Why me? Well, listen, I've been doing this stuff since 2007. We've helped thousands of people make money online with digital products. We run multiple school programs. We've won the school games. And I just want to finally just show you the real numbers. And I've done this many, many times, but I wanted to simplify it again in this whole thing. So the solution here is, we just need to reverse engineer your income goal. So whatever it is that you want to make, we just take that and we actually convert it backwards. So what I did is I went in and I went into deep research mode with, I used Gemini, I used ChatGPT, I used, what else did I use? Perplexity. And I got back this average benchmark number for when you post a video, what is the average conversion from views to clicks? And then when somebody comes in, what's the average conversion from clicks to free members or leads? And then what's the conversion number from free members in Skool to paid members? Okay. And all these numbers are completely available. You can go find them yourself. And so what I did was I gave you some benchmarks, some actual conversion benchmarks that you can use. And while these might not be completely the same for everybody, because, listen, we're all starting from different places. Okay. We all have different levels of, what we know and can do with content, what we know and can do with business and things like that. So I just wanted to give a broad, overall, arching range that you can use that will actually get you close to what it actually is. That way you're not confused, because I don't think most people really understand what's required to get it done. They don't quite understand the amount of work that you have to do. And in some cases, if you're doing good, for whatever reason, you might have really good numbers and it might be a lot closer than you think it is. Let's run through this. The change that you'll get from this, okay, is you're going to see the math. You're going to see how everything clicks, and your content plan becomes actually truly simple, and then you can just focus on being consistent, okay? And this is the key. And so by the end of this thing, I want you to be able to know exactly how many views you need to make it happen, how to get free members and customers to actually hit whatever income goal you have. I mean, you could set it at $1 trillion and work it backwards, and once you see the work, you might not want $1 trillion, but maybe $100,000 or whatever the case is, right? What I did with this tool that I made, it's completely free, like I said, I actually plugged in all of this stuff so that all you have to do is basically talk to this thing in a very easy way, and it's just going to give you the numbers, and then you can get to work. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is this simple funnel, right? There's only one funnel that actually truly matters. Now, people talk about funnels, and there is always some sort of funnel. I don't care if you have a garage sale, your funnel is people driving by out there, they see your garage sale sign, and then they find your yard, they come into your yard, and they get introduced to this table with a bunch of stuff on it, and then they buy something or they don't, right? There's always a funnel involved. So when people are like, well, I'll show you with no funnel, it's like, that doesn't make any sense, okay? There's only one funnel that really truly matters, and that is you got to get views, you got to get clicks or people to, raise their hand or show up. You got to get some free signups in a way, or, if we go back to the garage sale example, it's like, what are the views? Well, the views are people got to see your garage sale sign, or how the hell are they going to know if you have a garage sale? Number two, if we talk about clicks in the garage sale sense, they have to actually take the bait, see the sign, start heading towards the neighborhood. That's kind of like a click. And then they're going to arrive at your table. And that's kind of like a free sign up. It's kind of like a lead. You got somebody in your yard looking at the stuff on the table, and then they're either going to buy or they're not. So this is the only true funnel that really truly matters. And however you get it to go there, that doesn't matter. I just happen to use Skool for everything because I can get people from YouTube. They can view my content kind of like you're doing right now. I can get them to go over and become a free member inside of my Skool, which is the same as essentially being, like a lead, because they put in their information, they're in my community, they're getting free value, they're seeing what's up. And then some of those people want to, become a paid member so that they can talk with me, get on calls, et cetera, et cetera. That's just how it's done, okay? And everybody wants to live inside of that path. That's the path of like making money online in anything. It doesn't matter what it is. So let's look at these conversion numbers here. So here's the current market benchmarks. Views to click range between 0.7% to 3%. And I'll explain the range because that's the next three tiers that we use here. These bottom half numbers belong to the conservative side, and then these top half numbers, they belong to the strong side. And this is conversion basics, okay? So like we use three tiers of conversion. You have the conservative numbers, which is what I would want you to lean on, because if you can make it work in the conservative numbers, the rest is all going to work out. But, I will show you what happens with the base and the strong if you get better at what you're doing in terms of content and stuff like that. View to click. What does this mean? You put out a video and somebody views it and actually clicks the link in the description to go to whatever, or they take the action you tell them to take. They go to your free Skool, they join your lead magnet, they whatever. Then you have what percentage of the people that click actually sign up and become a lead, an email on your list, a free member in your community. What is that number? It's right here, 25 to 60%. This was pretty crazy. I thought it was going to be a lot lower than this, actually. And then what percentage of people that become a lead or a free member actually turn into a paid member? And as it's always been ever since I've been in this industry, since 2007, it's been 2%. It's always been like 1.5 to 2%. That's always like the conversion that you can just assume you're going to get on the sales page or even inside of the email list if you want to always play it safe. Now, sometimes you get more. Some people are rock stars. They can get more. Some people can get less. But if you're wanting to be making sure that the bread's going to be there, you want to roll off that bottom number, because why wouldn't you do that, right? Because if anything that's north of that number, you're going to do great with. So we've got from free to paid, it's 2 to 10%. So this is all you really need to understand. And so down below, I'm going to show you, we're going to pick these tiers. And again, everything that you're seeing right here, I built into the actual thing I'm going to give you, okay? You're basically picking your tier. You're going to run your math. You're going to get your ass to work. That's it. And by get your ass to work, what I mean is you're going to have an offer. You're going to have a free offer. You're going to give them something for free. You're going to have something that they can buy. And then you're going to be doing content. That's all there is. Attract, convert, deliver. That's it. All right, get that? You got it. So section 3, the formula. So here's the formula. And this is the formula to figure out how many views do you actually need. And I'm going to show you, I've got some examples here. So it's not going to just, I got you. All right. So first off, paid members. So how many paid members do you need? Well, paid members, how many paid members you need that's the revenue goal divided by the price. I have an example here. If this is kind of confusing, I got an example. But paid members equals revenue goal, your revenue goal, what you want to make divided by the price that you're charging for your paid thing. Free members is paid members divided by your free to paid rate, which is what we gave up here. Okay. The free to paid rate is 2 to 10%. And then how many views do you actually need in your content? So what I mean by that is how many flipping videos do you have to post, and how many views do these videos have to get on average for you to get the leads, for you to get the sales? Because this can all be worked backwards. Okay. It really truly can. I like to just work off of leads now. Like I like to be like, well, how many leads do I need to get per day if I want to make this amount of money? And really that number becomes what it is. You really focus on how many leads are we getting? What's the free member sign up? Because that can be directly related to how many people in any given time period. If you calculate numbers, a ratio appears. Okay. There is some form of, start, go, and diminishing returns. This just happens. So in this case, it's how many views do you, because I want you to see the view side of it, because I feel like sometimes if I say, well, you got to get this many leads to make this many sales, the problem is you don't know how much action needs to go up front in the view part of the deal, the content part of it, in order for you to get that many leads. And then therefore you can't really calculate how you're going to get this money in this amount of time. Okay. And time is always part of this equation. It just, you don't just plant the tree and pick the apple. There's this thing in the between that happens called time and growth and things that just have to happen. On the math side of this, the example is, let's say that you want to make 10 grand a month, the patented, the crazy, everybody, 10 grand a month, which is great. I mean, listen, the average person makes like 5 grand a month, or household, I should say, like 5,500 or something like that. It's insane in the United States. It's like 60 grand a year, is the average, income in the United States or whatever. So at 10 grand, you're doubling that. You're certainly going to be better off, right? And if you can do it doing the way we do it with digital products, there's a lot of profit there, a lot less work involved in terms of time, and you can make stuff happen, okay? So, but let's just say you want to make 10 grand per month and you're charging $59 per month for your school, okay? So somebody's going to join your school, pay you $59 a month to get access to your accountability, your path to the result, your community members, interacting with each other, getting on calls with you, okay? You helping them get to the promise, right? That you said you'd get them to. So to do that, you need 170 paid members. Well, that means you need 3,400 free members. And I'm just using this math from up here, from the benchmarks. Okay, this right here. 3,400 free members you got to get 170 paid members based off of this math that we're using. So you need around 560,000 views. That's your video inventory target. So 560,000 views. So what does this mean? Well, this means if you did 10 videos right now, okay, so let's say over the next 10 days, you did 10 videos and posted them. What's the average view that you get on those videos, right? What's the average views you get on those videos? If it's 100, then it's 100 times 10. Okay, it's 1,000 views. So at that rate, how many videos do you got to do to get 560,000 views? Well, here's the crazy thing. In saying that, it's like, well, you're going to get better at getting views, all right? And I don't want you to just track views, but it is part of the equation. I mean, if you don't get views, if you don't get attention, nobody becomes a lead. And if nobody becomes a lead or a free member, then nobody becomes a paid member. So we have to pay attention to this, and unfortunately, the news, the amount of views that you have to get, that news that you get isn't always isn't as easy as you thought it was. It doesn't mean you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that it ain't worth it. Let's take a look at this. If we were to break this down, what this actually means for you. So if your videos average 2,000 views each, in this case, you need about 300 videos. If we want to talk about people that produce a lot of videos and do a lot of things, we could talk about Gary Vee. We could talk about Alex Hormozi. There's a lot of them, right, that are doing pretty well. I think the last time I looked at Hormozi's views on his, or sorry, not views, but the last time I looked at his amount of videos that he did on his channel, I think it was over 4,000 videos. Okay. So, and we're not talking about the ones that are put out on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, okay. So there's a lot of views happening, and we see what the amount of views gets you. So if we know 560,000 views using this math converts a $59 product into 10 grand per month, well, now we've got something we can really work with, we can really run with, don't we? So that's what I want you to really think about and pay attention to here, because this can just be worked backwards. Because as I put right here, the math is always the math. If you get 2,000 views per video, you need about 300 videos. 3 videos per week for 2 years. Or you could do 1 video per week for 6 years. Or you could do 1 video per day for 1 year. So here we have this benchmark now. It's like, well, how fast do you want it? How bad do you want it? That's the next question. Because if you know that you could do, what do you have right now in your life where you could post 3 videos per week if they got 2,000 views a piece now? Okay. All right. What if you had, in 2 years, do you have something right now where you're going to have a recurring income of 10 grand per month, doing something that you love online, and you have the freedom to roam around and work when you want and how you want? You just got to make sure it gets those views, you get those numbers, okay? Because the math is always the math. You can't hide from it, okay? A real business is ran with math and a little bit of, like, you got to have some balls to do it, right? Here's the thing. It's like, pick your math, okay? Do you want it sooner or later? Because no matter what, this metric has to be met. That's what I'm trying to get to you. And this is where we, people like myself and Michelle and, the people that do this stuff, we look at it and we're like, how can you not see this? How could you not want to do it? And a lot of times it's because people don't want to do that work. right? And that's okay if you don't want to do the work, nothing wrong with that. If you want something, you can go get it. Just you need a measurement of what it takes to go get it, and then you got to say, I want that or not. But a lot of times when you see what it costs to get what it is that you want, that's where a lot of people say, I think I'm okay with whatever. This is why I wanted to really make this video. I think it should be a very big video on the channel. I think a big video. I'm going to send it out to my community, to my group and everything, because this is so important. Now, the flywheel effect here is this. At first, your views are small. You're going to start out with crap, like everybody. Everybody started with crap, and that's just the way it is. It doesn't. You're trying to figure it out, right? Your library will grow. You'll get more videos. One video turns into 10. 10 turns into 100. I remember what Jim Rohn said. He goes, I used to talk to 10 people and get 2. Now I talk to 10 people and I get 8. What happened? Same people. I changed. I got better. So it's the same thing too. When you go to do this stuff, you're going to get better. And views compound. Okay, everything compounds. You do enough of anything, it starts compounding. Something happens there. So your free members grow, your paid members grow. This is the system. And no more, no less. You attract people out on social media. You bring them into your world. You have them off of social media now. You're communicating and working with them, showing them how you can solve the problem, and then by God, solve the problem. So here's the tool that I made you. I built you a calculator. You can use it. The link is down in the description. I'm going to show you how it works. You plug in your goals, it shows you the numbers, and it builds your entire year that you need to do in seconds. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to click on this. So I have some presets here that you can just change the numbers to. Okay, this is a custom GPT, totally free. You just click on here, okay, and I have, like, in my Skool, I've got my premium is $59 a month. My VIP is $199 a month. If I have a goal of making $10,000 a month, what do I have to do? So that's what it's figuring out. You just put in your numbers. Here's how much my thing costs. Here's how much money I want to make. Okay, that's all you have to put in here, and that's it. Okay, so as you can see, it just basically says, okay, your premium, because what we teach inside of Make Once is I show you how to do the freemium model primarily. You have a free section of your community, then you have a premium level and a VIP level. If your goal is $10,000 a month, here's the mix. 80% of your money is going to come from premium, 20% is going to come from VIP. Let's say your average video views are 300. You can now go in here and you can change any of these numbers to whatever you want. And here it is. You need roughly 9.5 thousand to 38,000 free members depending on the scenario. Okay, so what does it mean? Revenue split. 8,000 coming from premium, 2,000 coming from VIP. That means you need 136 premium members and 11 VIP members. What does this actually look like? So if we get down into here, I'm going to make myself a little smaller so I can go over here in the corner. The required free members, so we have conversion rates of 0.5% will go to premium, 0.1% will go to VIP. So the required free members at this calculation is 38,200 members. Views needed, 128 videos if we're averaging 300 actual views per video. So total views needed, 38,200 views. So if I can get 38,200 views per month, this will calculate into the amount of members that I need using this calculation right here. That was the conservative scenario. It's also going to give you the base scenario, which means you have a 1% conversion rate or a 0.2% conversion rate of people coming in. Here we only need 19,000 views per month. Whichever channel you choose, I would have you choose YouTube. The strong scenario, you're converting at 2% and 0.4%, 9,550 views per month. Okay, so 32 videos per month, which is still over a video a day. That's if you're getting 300 views per video. If you're getting 1,000 views, this whole thing changes real fast. And when I think about it and what I know what people are capable of doing, this is pretty low entry to get to that 10K per month if you really look at it. So interpretation here, it says if you hit 10K a month, you need about 147 paid members total. 136 from premium, 11 from VIP. The size of your free audience is what changes the most across these scenarios. At a base scenario, you need about 19,000 free members or leads, in other words. 64 monthly videos approximately at 300 views each. So what does it want you to do? Publish 2 to 3 short videos a day to hit the base scenario volume. That's not too crazy. Push VIP only in live sessions, DMs, or deeper content where they trust is higher. That's going to happen inside the program. And then build a premium from the front. Use your broad content. Build VIP from the deep content once they're inside. and then it asks you some questions. So I built this for you. All you got to do is plug in your numbers and it'll work for you. It works really great. You can grab it down in the description. So to wrap things up here, you don't need luck, okay? That's a bunch of baloney, all right? What you need is leverage, and you need this organic math system, and this is what's going to give you that leverage. I want you to keep shipping every day. Don't give up. Keep stacking. The math will take care of itself, and if you want more videos like this, then subscribe. If you like this, like the damn thing, and down in the comments, if you have questions, be sure to ask those, because those are what motivate these next videos. Have a hell of a good day. Hope your business is growing, and I'll see you in the next one.